If you are planning to launch an online business in 2026, here are 9 things that you should consider. Hi, I'm Afan, a former investment analyst and a startup growth advisor. Over the last decade, I have advised several e-commerce businesses and digital-first businesses. In today's video, I am going to talk about 9 considerations that are very important if you are looking to launch an online business in 2026. I will bucket these into 3 areas. First, must do, because these are absolutely the fundamentals. Second, should do if it is possible for you, if your budget allows. Third, nice to do if it is relevant for the product or service that you are selling or the type of online sales model that you have implemented. Keep in mind that these 9 things are not your typical considerations, such as having a product catalog, investing in search engine optimization, or simply running social media ads. These are new trends that have emerged over the last 1 to 3 years and are completely reshaping how businesses sell online these days. Now let's go into the first bucket, which is what is must do for you, meaning these are the fundamentals. And in this bucket, I will put 3 considerations. First is AI driven and agentic commerce. Consumers are increasingly starting product searches via ChatGPT and other AI agents, not Google. These tools provide direct recommendations and can even handle in-chat checkouts. As per a recent study, ChatGPT-based traffic of shopping and product discovery was up more than 800% just in the last year. And conversion rates were hovering around 8%, much higher than the 2 to 3% that we are typically used to in online businesses before the AI-driven world. Agentic commerce is where AI systems automatically guide, discovery, comparison, and even purchase. And they are reshaping inventory planning as well. Who is doing it? Shopify. Shopify is enabling direct in-chat purchasing in ChatGPT. This makes millions of Shopify products discoverable by AI, and it collapses discovery, decision, and purchase all into one flow. What do you need to do, or what is at stake if you don't do this? First, you need to leverage AI plugins, for example, Shopify plus OpenAI. Optimize product data for AI discovery. Design agent-friendly content. In other words, make your catalog, such as titles, attributes, product availability information, pricing information, LLM readable. So AI storefronts can complete the loop. What is at stake, you ask? Brands not AI optimized risk being invisible in search recommendations. Second is social commerce. Social media as a business is booming. TikTok Shop has become a scalable commerce related trend. And this is blending entertainment and native checkout. In 2025, TikTok shops accounted for 18 to 20% of all US social e-commerce. Based on a recent study, 70% of people expect to shop via social media channels by 2030. This is a huge number, and it is paramount that any digital business starting in 2026 is already starting on this journey. Platforms that are leading this space are TikTok globally, WeChat in China, Instagram is also quite popular, and so on. A great example here is of the company Fabuloso, which is established in 2019, and they sell fragrance-based home cleaning products. Products such as multi-purpose cleaners, antibacterial sprays, disinfectants, room and fabric fresheners, etc. They collaborated with over 100,000 creators, which helped them create a viral flywheel. And this help them increase impressions, engagement, and conversion. Their popularity can be gauged from the fact that they won TikTok Shop UK's FMCG award because of almost 800% growth in their TikTok related sales. Now, what do you need to do? You need to integrate shopping experiences into content and creator strategies. Leverage in app checkout, build engaging live events, build always on creator programs, and merchant led live streams with in app checkout. Treat TikTok not just as a place to run your social media ads, but as a marketplace plus affiliate plus performance media. You must optimize across different demographics, especially if your company is targeting Gen Z, they definitely favor TikTok and Instagram. Older groups might be looking at more places like Facebook. Third is VC, not venture capital, not video conferencing, but voice commerce. The global voice commerce market is projected to grow to almost $200 billion by 2030, 3 to 4 times bigger than what it is today. And this is largely driven by adoption of smart speakers and IoT devices, which offer convenience for reordering and hands-free interactions. A great example here is that of Starbucks that integrated with Amazon Alexa and other voice platforms, allowing customers to reorder with ease. For example, users can say, Alexa, order my usual from Starbucks, and the system pulls their saved preferences and places the order on their behalf. Now you can optimize your product data catalog for voice-assisted queries. This would allow you to enable frictionless reorders at a minimum, which is really a low-hanging fruit, and also build brand presence across voice platforms. It is also important to keep in mind some of the voice interface limitations and privacy, security, compliance related issues before you venture on this path. Now let's go into the second bucket, which is considerations that you should do if it is possible for you. And here again, I would call out three things. First is augmented and virtual reality shopping. Now, AR and VR tech has matured quite significantly over the last number of years. 60% of US consumers, as per a recent study, are frequent augmented reality users. And it is also said that brands that use AR visuals see up to 94% higher conversions and an average 40% drop in returns because, let's be honest, people already have a fair idea of what they are buying. Applications here include virtual try-ons on things like apparel, cosmetics, eyewear, and in-home product visualization for things like furniture, home decoration, appliances, and so on. A great example here is that of IKEA. Shoppers visualize true to scale furniture in their space. Several brand stores on Amazon are also leveraging this feature, which is allowing them to have a better conversion rate. What do you need to do is invest in augmented reality content and virtual showrooms to enhance engagement and reduce returns. Now, obviously, you cannot focus on all the product SKUs that you might be selling because in your case, they might be hundreds or thousands. And there's a significant amount of investment when we talk about having 3D models for augmented reality, virtual reality shopping. And in this case, you can prioritize high impact SKUs for creating the 3D models in the first stage. It is also important to keep measuring the impact on conversions and make any changes if necessary to justify scaling up further investment in this area. An important consideration here is that you must be targeting user segments with hardware access because let's be honest, The virtual reality and augmented reality based try-ons are more geared towards this space. And you also need to measure ROI against implementation costs consistently. The second consideration in this second bucket is something that is very close to my heart. I'm sure some of you can guess that already. It is sustainability and circular commerce, or re-commerce, which is the new name popping up quite frequently these days. What is it? There is rising consumer demand of eco-friendly products. E-commerce logistics are estimated to emit more than 25 million metric tons of carbon emissions by 2030. It's a huge number. 80% of consumers are willing to pay more for sustainable products. Another important trend in here is there's growth in the second-hand or resale market. For example, clothing resale is expected to grow more than 9 times faster than new fashion by the next 2 to 3 years. Since this topic is very close to my heart, I will give here two examples. First is Patagonia, whose one wear integrates trade-in, repair, and resale and remanufacture. This is a true circular system that builds loyalty and incremental revenue while extending product life. Another great example here is that of Zention Technologies. This company operates a subscription-based e-commerce and device services platform for consumer electronics. Basically, the business model includes three things. First, subscription access to tech devices such as mobile phones, smartwatches, laptops, and so on. Rather than buying them outright, users can subscribe to these devices. Users can upgrade, switch brands, or return devices flexibly at a lower monthly cost than purchasing. As you can imagine, all of this is linked to device lifecycle management and circular economy. Basically, this company is integrating repairs, refurbishing, reselling, and recycling all into this very nice loop that is creating a full circular ecosystem where devices cycle through multiple users and increase asset value while reducing waste. The third thing that they're doing, which is helping them unlock additional revenues, is providing protection services, extended warranties, and buyback programs. You can also introduce circular models around reselling, rental, recycling, eco-packaging, carbon offset options, and transparent reporting of the sustainability related attributes of the products that you are selling. It is important that you are treating circularity as an operating model and not just a campaign to boost visibility of your products. Some things that you need to be cautious here are streamlining reverse logistics, repair capacity, and brand resale. If you can take care of these areas, then circularity or remanufacturing is a process or a model that you should absolutely focus on. The third consideration in here, which has been around for some time, and it probably started to emerge maybe 4 or 5 years ago already, is unified commerce or hybrid commerce. Now we know buyers hop from online to offline very frequently. And it is important that they get the same experience regardless of the touch point that they are using to interact with your products. There's significant growth in research online, purchase offline. In some studies, we've seen that 80% people are searching for the products online, but then ultimately 20% or 30% may be buying that online, whereas others go into the shop to try those products, have a real feel before they actually consider purchasing. A couple of great examples here are that of Walmart, that has stores as fulfillment flywheel. IKEA is recognized also in the 2025 Unified E-commerce benchmark as a top performer, seamlessly integrating digital and physical retail experiences. They offer seamless experiences such as synced carts, unified product and consumer data, integrated checkout, and consistent fulfillment options, leveraging real-time data across all parts of the customer journey. In your company, definitely you can bank on this trend, ensuring unified inventory, consistent experience, and ability to pick up, deliver from any channel. Obviously, this is relevant for companies who have an online sales model but also have physical storefronts. If you are just selling online, then this is probably not applicable to you. Now, let's go into the third bucket, which is nice to do things if it is possible for you, if your budget allows, and so on, because some of these things are quite budget intensive or complex to implement. First is hyper personalization and AI based automation. AI personalization basically means having tailored product recommendations based on the customer's purchase history across your company or other companies, or based on their other data that they have decided to publicly share across social media channels, and so on and so forth. Hyper personalization also includes things like dynamic pricing, predictive emails, chatbot interactions, and so on. Now, depending on how you are selling your product or service, you may or may not need to invest in these areas. For example, we know Shopify and other such similar platforms are already having some native capabilities for AI-based product recommendations at a minimum. A great example in this domain is that of Sephora, which is a personal care brand, or a chain of personal care stores. And they are having a functionality for AI or augmented reality based try ons, which are very data driven. And of course, they're having data driven recommendations for product purchases as well. When it comes to you, you can definitely use AI across the life cycle or the overall purchase journey of any customer. And this would help improve retention metrics for your company. It is important that you are clear about data usage and your privacy policy, because with more and more adoption of AI comes more and more considerations about cybersecurity and privacy of customer data. The second thing in this bucket of nice to do things is blockchain for supply chain transparency. Blockchain is increasingly gaining traction when it comes to transparent logistics and traceability of the products, of the supplier value chain, and so on. Walmart is another example here that is implementing blockchain systems for traceability of their products. And this has allowed them to reduce provenance lookup from 7 days to only 2.2 seconds. A very important consideration here is that blockchain networks can be very complex and costly. So you absolutely need to prioritize proven use cases to be implementing this technology in your company. You can start with a high risk category, mandate that your suppliers participate in the program with you, and integrate blockchain events into recalls. The last thing in this third bucket, which probably could also be in the first bucket of must do things, depending again on the type of product or service that you are selling, is subscription and recurring commerce models. Now, subscription models have surged across categories, be it fashion, beauty, consumables, and they drive predictive revenue and promote brand loyalty as well. A great example here is that of Dollar Shave Club, where subscription has really helped the company improve retention significantly. They have 12-month packages because, let's be honest, people who shave, they need to constantly keep reordering their blades, their razors, shaving foam, and things like that. The brand remains a benchmark for direct-to-consumer subscription flywheels. Another great example, which I also called out earlier for sustainability and re-commerce, is that of Zenshin Technologies, that has implemented a subscription-based business model for purchasing technology gadgets such as smartwatches, mobile phones, and laptops, where consumers pay a monthly fee for getting access to these devices, and in return, they also have flexibility to upgrade devices, and they don't need to worry about things like warranties and so on. Now, what do you need to do is launch subscription packages if your product or service is falling into a category where it is quite common for consumers to do repeat purchases. You need to ensure that you are aligning acquisition incentives to the lifetime value of the customers and not just the first purchase. For example, to hook customers for the first purchase, you might be giving a 10%, 20% off coupon to make that first purchase. You need to ensure you have a similar system in place for customers to keep coming back to you. Right? And if you have a discount for customers who subscribe to a 12-month package where they get a delivery every quarter from your company, that is going to help you have predictable revenues over the life cycle of the customer and significantly boost the lifetime value of the customer for your company. So, to recap, what should you do if you are considering launching an online business in 2026? First, ensure your catalog is discoverable by chat AIs. Second, broaden your presence across social storefronts to ride on the wave of social commerce and not just use social media as a way to run campaign ads. Third, ramp up efforts around voice platforms, at least to capture low hanging fruits around reordering, especially if your product or service falls in that category where customers tend to do repeat purchases. A couple of things that you should do if it is possible for you is embed data-driven personalization and loyalty programs. Use AI responsibly to boost retention. Second, pilot augmented reality related experiences, especially if you are selling hardware products that go into a living room or sticks on a wall. The third thing in this category, or the sixth consideration overall, is sustainability initiatives by having circular, remanufactured, or nearly new catalog section in your store. Start small and iterate based on performance. Next three considerations, which are optional if your budget allows, if it is relevant to you. And here, think of launching a subscription package. Again, if you are selling consumables or if you are selling the type of product where consumers tend to do repeat purchases. Fully integrate omni-channel systems across the customer journey, especially if you are selling online, but you are also having physical storefronts. Last, explore blockchain where trust is key, particularly to map all your suppliers and have traceability in a much stronger fashion in categories like food, luxury, and wellness. Keep in mind, this ninth consideration is also very cost intensive, so you really need to prioritize use cases. By targeting these evolving trends, especially around AI driven price discovery, immersive shopping, and sustainability, you can build resilience and unlock new revenues for your company. If you've made it this far and you are interested in content like this, consider subscribing to my channel.